everyone, this is Conrad Layn here. I'm here with the Buick Verano Sport. But enough about the sport. I'm actually going to share how to actually become a commercial host. I want to be one of the first Turo hosts on YouTube to explain my opinions and perspectives on how to actually become a commercial Turo host if you want to earn 92.5% of a guest reserve booking amount. Absolutely phenomenal way to earn some income, but there is a way you have to do it. And again, I'm not perfect. I'm just your friend on YouTube. I'm not your attorney, not your insurance advisor, not your insurance agent. I'm not anything to you. I'm just simply your friend on YouTube. Always do your own due diligence. This is my perspective and opinion. I'm gonna give you my blueprint if I wanted to become a commercial host. I'm currently not a commercial host. I love Turo, and I'm currently on the Turo 90 plan for all those that might want to know. So currently what that means is I basically earn 90% of the income from a guest booking, but I use Turo insurance. I have deductible is $2,500. But again, for those that want to be a commercial host and earn 92.5%, where you earn more than 90%, but you basically take on a lot of the risk and liability, which is perfectly fine. I'm going to share what my perspectives and opinions are on how to do this. Let's dive right into it, people. So I'm going to flip this around, walk up this as I explain this. So first and foremost, people, the first step you must do is becoming a commercial Turo host. First, you want to check your municipality, region, state, country, city that you're currently in, because oftentimes there are issues where typically, and from what I'm going to share my screen with you too to share what I found about the commercial host program. I think it's a great opportunity for those that are ready for it, but you can't just simply just go ahead and sign up. You want to do a lot of research and make sure you're ready for it. First, you basically understand the mentality that if you're becoming a Turo commercial host, that you're at the point where you're basically wanting to take over the parts that Turo takes care of. So for example, the insurance portion, the licensing, etc. You will want to become basically Turo at that point where you basically are the one that's going to take care of all the responsibilities. So you don't have any insurance, you have to get your own insurance, which is fleet commercial insurance, but that also offers rental car coverage. Keyword, rental car coverage. What typically has happened, unfortunately, is that oftentimes people want to sign up to become a commercial host. I'm going to share an article and share where Turo actually stipulates and states this, that typically speaking, Turo's not saying this from what I've found. It seems that they will allow you to become a commercial host. You just have to have the coverage in place. But typically, to get the type of coverage you need, which is typically rental car coverage, you usually have to be a rental car company. Or someone who has the authorization to get that, because unfortunately commercial insurance typically doesn't cover rental car coverage. It'll cover your fleet like as a business or as it being a fleet, but it won't cover it being rented out to people or sharing the vehicle with other people for income. That's a rental car policy typically. That's not absolute though. You can definitely put some sweat equity in, do some research. I wish I could give you one answer, but there's so many different municipalities, so many states, laws, regions. I can't just give you one answer because every state's different, every country is different, every province is different, every area, region's different. But what you must do is make Google and Bing and search engines in your area your best friend, and go on Google, go on the search engine online, and you start finding these insurance companies that cover rental car coverage, but don't require you to be a rental car company. Because if they require you to be a rental car company, that means you have to get bonded through your state, city, municipality, or region, and typically licensed. But check your own due diligence. Then oftentimes you might have to start an LLC or corporation, etc., or possibly a sole proprietorship, maybe as a DBA. That might be a possibility. But again, I'm in California. You might be in a different city, state. It really depends. So I'm not telling you what to do because every state and city is different. That's for you to do. I'm just kind of sharing a blueprint to kind of streamline the process to make it a little bit easier, but you still have to put some sweat equity and figure this out. But I'm just trying to make it a little bit easier because there's a lot of confusion about this. So typically speaking, you have to get insurance that has rental car coverage that covers your vehicles while they're being rented out for income. Very important. So it can't just be fleet insurance only. A lot of commercial policies don't cover rental car coverage. There are some that can, but you have to do your own due diligence, speak with the insurance companies and make sure they cover that. And then once you get insurance that covers rental car coverage, regardless if you're a rental car company or not, you give that policy to Turo, and then it becomes an owner's provided insurance policy where you're the owner who's providing insurance to the guests that you rent through the Turo platform. Turo essentially is just the marketplace, and they're marketing your car and getting you vetted and verified customers. That's all they're going to do, and that's why you're going to be paid 92.5%, because you're basically picking up all the responsibilities that Turo typically takes care of for us regular Turo hosts on the Turo 60, 75, 80, 85, and 90 plans. So it's a great way to earn some additional and compounding wealth building and income opportunities for yourself, but you just want to make sure you do it correctly. So do your own due diligence. First, figure out, number one, that if you even need to actually create an LLC or corporation or some type of entity or sole proprietorship with EIN, etc., or DUNS number, and figure that out if you need to actually start an entity to even be able to do this, because maybe your city or state or area or your region only gives you rental car coverage if you have a rental car company. Then at that point, I figure out, is it worth it or not? That's up to for you to decide. I'm just sharing what you have to do. Once you figure that out, once you either already own a rental car company, or if your city, state, municipality, country, region allows you to start having or purchasing rental car coverage for commercial purposes without being a rental car company, which is great. If you could find a company, an insurance company that will give you rental car coverage, then you just give that to Turo and you sign up. I left the link below where you can sign up to become a commercial host as well. But if that is not the case, and you have to get maybe bonded or licensed or whatever the case is and approved to be a rental car company in your city, state, municipality, or province or region, then you must do that. And then once you do that, if you decide to go that route, you do the same step. You sign up for Turo below. I left the link below. Sign up to become a Turo host. I'm going to share the screen with you to share everything I found and different articles in regard to this. Next, what you got to do, remember, Turo has contracts in place where as soon as the guest books the trip, they have the trip dates, they have everything documented. That's basically our contract. You have to step in and start creating your own contracts. You have to be able to get that. So maybe check out nolo.com, NOLO.com, or anyone. I'm gonna leave a link below. There's another one I found as well. I'll leave a link below and I'll share my screen where you can actually get contracts. You have to take responsibility and start taking getting contracts. And the reason why that's very important is because if you have contracts, since you're a commercial host now, you have to actually have these contracts in place. So just in case if the person doesn't pay you, if you need a security deposit, if they owe you money, you're giving them an asset that they're renting to you for a certain amount of money. You have to document also on your profile as well, on your Turo profile. You have to put it in the description what you require. If you require the driver license, you require the passport, etc., whatever the case is, the international driver license, you need to put all that in documentation on your profile. And at this point, you must also have your own contracts as well. I'll leave a link below where you can maybe get some, and you can get some for free possibly, but you might want to invest in getting some contracts. Next, what you want to do is you want to, after you already found an insurance plan, that's one of the steps. You have to get an insurance rental car coverage plan that's commercial for commercial purposes, but it has to offer rental car coverage. You must also possibly get a business insurance policy. Typically, you don't have to do this unless it's a requirement in your state or city, but it's maybe definitely recommended to protect yourself, because people get this confused where they'll have fleet insurance or they'll have rental car commercial insurance for a rental car company, but they won't have business insurance. They're completely different. Yes, it's a business policy in nature. It's a commercial policy, but it's a rental car coverage that covers your your vehicles while they're being rented. That's different than the actual business insurance policy you need to cover your actual entity itself, like if you're being sued or if there's libel or whatever the case is, or some type of lawsuit that's brought against you. Definitely review, start trying to look at different business policies possibly. Next step, you must start looking and getting used to looking at small claims court. Go to your municipality, state, region, figure out what are the costs, figure out what the process is, become well acquainted, go on Google, go to your local search engine online and figure out, hey, how do I go about recouping money from someone who doesn't pay me, or who steals my car, or who damages the car and they don't want to pay me, or they owe me for rental bookings, etc., and they didn't pay me, or they owe me for reimbursement of gas or damage done to the car. Start getting used to learning how to use small claims. You go to Google, typically pull up for your city, state, municipality, state, region, or country, figure out how to resolve in court. That's one definitely important step. This, unfortunately, in business there is liability, and oftentimes when you get maybe a not so legitimate guest, or not such a nice guest, Turo takes care of that. But when Turo's allowing you to be a commercial host, they're not going to take care of that for you. You have to take care of those problems, put those fires out yourself. So start getting used to small claims court possibly. Next step, you want to also consider the fact of understanding what do you need to do if someone owes you money. There's something called factoring. There's a company called Cabbage. I left the link below. You don't have to use them. Just use it just for reference. A lot of people don't even think about this, and if they want to become a commercial host, they don't even know what it takes to. And I'm not saying I have all the answers. I don't. But I am a business consultant. I've been insurance licensed for over 8 years. I'm real estate licensed as well, and I'm a power host on Turo. I'm not perfect. I don't have all the answers. I might be missing information here, but I'm doing my best to give you what I would do in my opinion if I wanted to do that, which I don't want to do that at this point because I'm happy where I'm at with Turo on the Turo 90 plan. But I'm going to help you guys so that just in case you want to earn 92.5% and you want to become a commercial host, I'm trying to teach you the archive of how to actually do this. So next step, that's what you must do. Consider companies, it's called factoring, business factoring. Factoring essentially is when someone owes you money, for example. You can sell that to another company and they'll buy it from you. They'll buy it. So for example, if I book a car and I owe a commercial host, say $1,000, for example, the other company factoring, say Cabbage or a different company, will buy that from me for maybe $750, for example, and they'll want to earn and they'll want to sell it, and they'll go after the person to try to recoup that money. Basically, that's the best way I could explain it. And maybe I didn't do the best job. Like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm not your attorney. I'm not your insurance agent. I'm nothing to you. I'm just giving my opinions, and it's up to you to do your own due diligence and make sure everybody here is legitimate. But I'm doing my best to give you some good service to actually give you some free information. So factoring, consider that. Next, you might want to start hiring debt collection agencies or debt collectors. Basically what credit card companies do. You might want to do that and consider that. And you might also want to consider, if you can, if it's possible in your state, city, municipality, or region, figure out a way where maybe you can hire them on, but you only pay them if they actually collect, because it could be very costly to pay them if they can't collect even, then you have to pay them and then you're already owed money. So try to negotiate a deal or find a company that will help you recoup money but won't charge you unless they recoup. That way, if they don't recoup, you pay nothing or pay very low, minimal amount. And if they do recoup it, fine, perfectly fine, they did their job, you pay them. You have to consider that, people. Next, you have to start looking for bonds if you are an LLC or a corporation. If your city or state requires it, you might need to look at bond. And bond is not insurance. It's just a protection against the people. Basically, you have a fiduciary duty as a rental car company, typically speaking, and what that means is being ethical. So a bond helps with that, and also insurance. But I'm not going to get right into that. I'm just giving you guys a summary of what you need. I'm going to share the screen to show you what I mean as well. That's something you guys want to probably consider. Next, you want to consider starting, if you already haven't, starting a Zelle account or a PayPal account or a Venmo account or some type of amount, maybe even Stripe. And these are accounts, and I'll share a screen. And the reason why you want to do is you want to make it as easy as possible for people to pay you back for, say, reimbursement for gas, maybe reimbursement for damage to your car. They went through a claim, maybe handling it independently with them. You're already independent because you're a commercial host, but maybe they have a deductible in place and they don't want to pay it. You want to handle it independently. Who knows? But you just want to have an outlet where they can pay you if they decide to do so. Turo usually takes care of that for us. But with this case, if you're recouping it, now you have to recoup your own money. So at this point, you might want to actually get to the point where you actually do that, where you actually bring that Zelle, start a Zelle account so they get fast pay you, or if they or Venmo so they get direct pay you, etc. Venmo as well. Quick ways people can pay you money to recoup for damages and losses and get reimbursement of gas. Very, very important to do this, people. There's a lot of steps here, but once you get these done, you should be pretty fine. But always do your own due diligence. I might be missing steps here. I might not have got it perfect. Again, I'm not a commercial host. I'm simply Conrad Layn, and I'm sharing my opinions, and it's up to you to do your own due diligence. I could be wrong. I could be right. I don't know. I'm not telling you what to do and what not to do. I'm just trying to be give you the best opinions that I can if I was in your situation. But for those that don't want to be a commercial host, doesn't even matter. But for those that want more insight on being a commercial host and trying to figure out how to even do it and what's required, definitely follow the video and watch the screen. And I'm gonna do my best to give you guys as much information as possible. Very, very important, people. That's I'm just trying to do my best to give a good service. So that's what you guys need to do. So recap before I share the screen. If you first figure out if your city or state requires you, and if the insurance companies in your region require you to be a rental car company. If they don't require to be a rental car company in your city or state, figure out if the insurance company requires you to be a rental car company, because oftentimes commercial insurance, if you start renting your cars out, it's not covered under commercial policies, unfortunately. At that scale, they'll protect it maybe as just a regular commercial property asset, but not as a rental car for income. That's usually a rental car policy. If that's the case, you'll want to do your best to actually figure that out. And once you do, if they say fine, you can do it, but you have to do this, then get it without becoming a rental car company. Great. And worst case or best case, if they tell you, hey, no, we only give this to rental car companies, you have to have a bond or license, that's the next step you have to take if that's what you want to do. Then you have to go through your city or state, figure out if you have to start a DBA or doing business as sole proprietors, or if you have to file an actual entity like an LLC or corporation, etc. And if you have to do that, that's your next step. Then you can sign up, which I left a link below. You can sign up for Turo to become a Turo commercial host and earn 92.5%. You have to show them that you have the proper coverage, make sure it covers rental car coverage, and that's what you can actually do going forward. Very, very important. That's what you guys have to do. So in regards to that, it gets to a point where you have to actually make sure you get down and make sure you understand if you have to start LLC or corporation, if you do it with a sole prop, if your city or state or region or municipality accepts that. Next, you want to make sure that you have the proper insurance in place so that Turo will accept it and allow you to become a commercial host on their marketplace. And remember, it must cover rental car coverage. I'm going to share the screen that shows that as well. And I left the links below, and the articles will state that as well. Turo says it must cover rental car coverage. So when you rent it out, it's covered. And that's very important. Next, also consider this factoring. Factoring is basically where if a guest owes you or someone owes you money, another company will buy that and pay you at a discount typically, so they can make a money on as well, trying to recoup that money. You might want to consider that. You might also want to hire debt collection agency or debt collectors, etc., so they can recoup people that don't pay. Unfortunately, that does happen as a part of business. Welcome to business. And also you might want to consider also getting commercial roadside service at this point, so that if your car breaks down, if it's the guest's fault or not their fault, you have commercial roadside service that could get to them and be dispatched 24/7. Very, very important. That's probably more like a necessity, but do your own due diligence and you figure that out for yourself. You also want to possibly get GPS tracking as well. Every state and every city and country is different in the world, and Turo's all over the world in 56 countries and counting. So I can't just give one company, but you just must do your due diligence. I'm just trying to teach you what you need to do and find a roadside company, and also find 24/7 roadside company that can help you. And also, again, make sure you find GPS tracking that helps you in your region as well. So that's very important. You want to be able to have GPS tracking so you can track your cars, and so you can shut off. And one that also allows, we call it kill switch, meaning that you cut off the engine, you cut the engine off and on. Pretty much, you want to be able to do that. We cut the power, so if someone steals the car, they don't want to bring it back, you can track it, shut it off, and call the authorities. You want to do that, have, like I said, the roadside service, have factoring in place where you can actually get paid for late payments and due dates, etc., and get reimbursed for that. Very important to do that. Also, you want to get to a point where you sub agreements with Zelle, PayPal, Venmo, etc. That way you can actually be recouped fast. If someone owes you money for, say, gas, reimbursements, etc., they can actually just Venmo you and pay you really quickly. And again, you want to also get some contracts. Look at NOL.com, or look at whatever is was great or free or cost effective in getting contracts from maybe attorneys online. You can check out even like Legal Shield. You could check out Legal Zoom. You could check out NOLO, etc. I'll leave some links below as well. Get contracts. Also use search engines in Google and Bing in your area to figure out and what the small claims status, or how to actually go against someone in court and sue them. You might need to learn how to sue someone. Unfortunately, it's pretty ugly, but that does happen. And that's just a few of the things you just have to do to become a commercial host. Again, I'm just your friend on YouTube. I don't have all the knowledge. I'm not your attorney. I'm not your insurance agent. I'm not your business consultant. I'm not your tax guy or CPA. I'm none of those things to you. I'm not giving any advice to you. I'm not telling you what to do and what not to do. I'm just sharing my opinions on what I believe you will probably need to do if you do go the commercial host route. But again, do your own due diligence. It's your responsibility, not mine. I know my life. I don't know your life. You know your life. You need to figure that out. But I just want to help you. So Love you guys. Like, subscribe, share. I'm gonna share my screen, and let's get to it, people. Thank you everyone for following me through. So I'm gonna share, in my opinion, what I think you might need to consider if you're even thinking about becoming a commercial host. Here's the actual article and the host sign up. You can sign up, become a commercial host right here. See where it says sign up now. This is where you apply. I left this link below, and so go down below the video in the description area, and you'll see this article and a few other articles and sign up where you can sign up, become a commercial host. So this is how you do it. This is what it looks like. See, become a commercial host. You can sign up. Number one, sign up and list your cars on Turo for free. Awesome. When selecting your protection plan, choose owner provided insurance to become a commercial host. Like I said, you have to actually get your own insurance. You won't be utilizing Turo's insurance any further. And yeah, this is basically what it is, people. That's about it. Voila. Yeah. So this is what it says right here. Turo, the world's leading car sharing marketplace, empowers independent rental car companies and entrepreneurs around the world to tap into our global network of millions of pre-screened guests. Sign up today as a commercial host in the U.S. by providing your own commercial rental insurance and keep 92.5% of every rental you win via Turo. 80% earning rate outside the U.S. There you go, people. And again, see where it says sign up today as a commercial host in the U.S. by providing your own commercial rental insurance. Doesn't just say commercial insurance, doesn't just say fleet insurance. It says commercial rental insurance. You typically need commercial rental insurance coverage for your vehicles that you'll be renting out as a commercial host typically. Let me go to the next screen, people. This is the other article. I left this in links below the video as well. Kind of goes in detail about what a commercial host is. See, commercial host decline protection plan offered through Turo, because you have to have your own rental car insurance policy. See, and right here it says, right here, most commercial insurance policies likely, doesn't say all, absolute, doesn't say always, likely, basically like typically, most commercial insurance policies likely exclude rentals. So the option to become a commercial host is almost always, not absolute, not all the time, almost always available only to rental car companies. What I mentioned before earlier in the video, that typically speaking, most commercial policies that I've run across, and it seems like Turo's stating the same thing as well right here, most rental car coverage companies only extend it to rental car companies. So what your job is to do this, every state, every country, every city is different. I can't give you one answer, can't give you a cookie cutter. I'm just giving you a streamlined approach, a blueprint, and you just have to do it, make it a little bit easier for you guys. And now you just have to figure out, can you find an insurance company that will cover you typically for without becoming a rental car company. I'll say contact first Liberty Mutual. Liberty Mutual has a partnership with Turo. Maybe there's something they could do for you. If they can't, contact your own personal insurance in that way. And typically most personal insurance have a business side or a fleet side, and ask if they have rental car coverage. And if not, then simply walk into your local rental car company, and Avis and Enterprise or Hertz in your area, whatever rental car companies are in your area, and rent their insurance. Ask them what their insurance they offer. If they tell you, great. If they don't tell you, contact their insurance company or rent a car for them and add on their rental car coverage. Now you have the answer. Contact the insurance company directly and ask them if there's a way you can get it without becoming a rental car company. If they say yes, great. If they say no, you might have to become a rental car company, maybe as a sole proprietor if that's allowed, maybe through LLC or a corporation. You might have to get a bond and a rental car license, but that's for your due diligence. Every state and city is different, and townships different. So that's something you have to really consider. And again, it says most commercial insurance policies likely exclude, likely, not all the times, and that means there might be a likelihood that you might be able to find a policy that covers you without becoming a rental car company, but it's just not as common. So don't lose hope. If you don't find that, you might just have to become a rental car company and take maybe a state test and become a proprietor rental car company. Or if that's even allowed, you might have to start an LLC or corporation, depending on what the rules are in your region. So that's pretty much what it says here. So always look out for that. You have to find commercial and policy that covers your rental car coverage. Very important, people. Let me go to the next screen. Next, you will need contracts typically. It's a good approach. There's a website, left a link below as well. They also offer different services, like to help you maybe try to possibly recoup money from the guests, and they help you with mitigating the situation in regards to the contract that's at hand. But again, do your own due diligence. But this is what it looks like. It kind of goes into detail about car rental service. This website offers car rental agreements, and they help you with that. And they have packages you can actually purchase. They have a free one. They also have one that's pretty cost effective, actually. Pretty good price in my opinion. Again. And they actually offer you agreements that you give to your Turo guests since you're a commercial host. So there's something. See, goes in rental agreement, attestation, payment, the rental fee. Here's a sample of it. Here, rental agreement sample. Yeah, so this is one of the websites, and I'm gonna go to the next one now. NOLO. This is a fairly common one, and you go here, you can actually get car sharing agreements as well from here. This is a great place to get some free ones. Also, you can purchase some and just look at some examples. Yeah, consider. See, use of the car. It goes in detail about what to do, responsibilities, rules, cost, the insurance, etc., etc. Indemnification. So yeah, contracts. That's definitely something you'll need. This Investopedia page about factoring. I kind of went in detail about factoring in the video before I went over to share my screen. And it's basically an approach that if you're owed an invoice, like there's a past due, there's companies that will actually assist you with taking care of the account receivables, as it states here, and they'll pay you for actually basically the past due accounts. So something you might want to consider. It's called factoring. I left the Investopedia definition below as well in the web link, so you can read more about it. You can watch this little video down here on your own time. There's a company called Cabbage. I left the link below. There's other companies as well. Just use this for example purposes. They even have a number you can call. Factoring, see? Through business factoring, your business can get immediate capital in exchange for your accounts receivables. Something you might have to consider, maybe not, just another strategy you might want to implement. Just want to really help you guys out, give you as much information as possible. And again, always do your own due diligence. I'm not perfect. I'm not your agent. I'm not your business consultant. I'm not your CPA or tax guy or attorney or none of those things to you. I'm just your friend on YouTube to share my opinion, and it's up to you to do your due diligence. And again, and here's the website for Zelle. I left the link below as well. You might want to start a Zelle account. Most banks actually offer this, so you just go into, if you already have a bank account, you just sign up for Zelle that way. But I left a website directly to Zelle as well. See, click here, see if your bank offers Zelle, and voila, you just search and look at all these banks. Scroll down, you can type the name up here. Doesn't really matter, people. But search and you find your bank. That's it. Go to the next one, Venmo. And the reason why you want to get Zelle, Venmo, PayPal, etc., even Stripe, is because you want a way, just in case if your guest owes you money, say for gas reimbursement, say for some, maybe a claim, maybe damage to the vehicle, maybe a cleaning fee, whatever the case, the incident, paying a ticket. You want to have a way for them to pay money to you, because now you remove Turo, where you're the commercial host now, so you have to take care of that. So you want to maybe add something like this on, but you can pick any company you like. This is Venmo. See, pay pretty conveniently. Pay each other, so if they owe you, they can pay you through Venmo or Zelle. They can also pay you through PayPal, possibly. That might be something you want to possibly consider setting up if you want to become a commercial host. Stripe as well, it's a very well-known company. You might want to consider this as well. A lot of big-time companies use it. Yeah, and car tracking. You definitely want to get car tracking. You don't have to use this one. It's just for example purposes, but this is one for $99. And again, depending on what country you're in, what city, what state you're in, Turo's in 56 countries and counting. So you might want to check Amazon in your area, or a store in your area, or another website that's in your area, and look for GPS tracking that has kill switch. Kill switch allows you to cut off the engine, cut off the power, and turn it off and on at your will, and to track it the same, just in case if it's stolen, if the guest leaves it somewhere, etc. And again, you want to make sure you get commercial roadside. So 24/7, you have roadside that can pick up the car, locate the car for you, pick it up from somewhere if the guest leaves in the wrong area, if it gets towed somewhere, if it breaks down, the battery dies, if something happens, you want to make sure you get that taken care of right away, people. That's very, very important. And that's pretty much where we're at so far. And again, consider factoring, where you maybe if someone owes you, a guest owes you, you find companies that will pay you for that debt. Second, you want to maybe contact maybe a debt agency or collection agency to help you recoup money. Next, you might want to learn how to go through court or small claims court to to sue for the money that's owed to you. If someone owes you money for a car, or they did something bad to your car, or they damaged your car and they owe you monies for it, good way to consider. You want to look for commercial roadside service, commercial rental car insurance, not just commercial insurance. It has to cover rental car coverage to be accepted as a commercial host through a Turo platform. You might need to become a sole proprietorship with a DBA, doing business as, or LLC or corporation, if you're required to become that due to becoming a rental car company in your region. Just a lot to consider, but if you get this figured out, you could definitely make quite a bit of money and really build your wealth. So again, I'm on the Turo 90. I'm a Turo host. I'm not a commercial host. It's not the strategy I'm implementing at this time. I'm happy where I'm at, but I know there are people that are interested in this. And if you already own a rental car company, or if you own a dealership, or if you're thinking about owning a dealership or owning a rental car company, or starting your own rental car company, or you're just interested in becoming a commercial host and earning that 92.5%, this is who this video is for, really. So again, I'm not perfect. I might have left something out of this. I don't think I did, but who knows? I did my best to give you as much information as possible and from a legitimate matter. And I shared the screen. I'm showing everything that I think you should be able to do and should do if you're considering becoming a commercial host. Hope you guys found some content and value in this. Like, subscribe, share. I love you guys. Conrad, Layn out. Peace.